Hi, Jake here. Just thought I'd put up another video. Uh, we went and had our blood work done. We went to that Lifeline screening. They were in town, in Rosalie. She signed me up thinking that we were going to have these blood tests and all this, and that I was going to have one foot in the grave. And so we got the blood work results back, and I'm going to share that. Kind of funny, you know, Rosalie was thinking that we went and had this done. I mean, she thinks that I am a little extreme with this stuff, that I'm not in the best of health with this style, and that I should have more variety in my diet, and that I'm just too rigid on what I eat and the way I eat and everything. And so she saw them commercials on TV and called, and sure enough they were in the area. And it's been, she set these appointments up over over a month, maybe 2 months ago, and they were in. And let's see, it was the 4th of March, so our appointment with them was 4th of March. We went down to Big Fork, and that's where they had their clinic set up. And there was quite a few people in there. They were coming and going. I was surprised that they were really running a lot of people through there. And the one thing I was okay with was that calcium A, the CAC score, you know, where they check the plaque in your aorta. And so that one I knew I would have liked to find out what that is. Well, the results, I haven't got the results on that score back, but we do have our blood work and our glucose numbers and everything. And it was kind of surprising uh, what they were. I thought being on pretty much a straight carnivore diet, that my cholesterol would be through the roof, because that's what everybody says. You know, if you're eating carnivore or a keto diet, oh my God, your cholesterol, you're going to have a heart attack from all the cholesterol and everything. And the nice thing about this is I knew from watching a lot of videos and everything that as your weight comes down and you're losing weight because your body's getting rid of the fat and stuff, you're going to have a high cholesterol rate. So this worked out just about perfect, because I had already hit my goal weight, and so I had pretty well leveled off from losing weight. The day I took the test, I weighed 162.8 pounds. So I'm down another pound. I was 163, now I'm down to 162. But it's still pretty level, you know. Your weight will fluctuate a pound or two just by retaining water and a little inflammation or something, whatever your body's doing. And I was really interested because they took my blood pressure up there. And usually when I go into any kind of a doctor's office and everything, my blood pressure's way up. I have white coat syndrome, where if I walk in the doctor's office, it's already 10 points over what it should be. Whereas I can take it at home and it's just perfectly level. So I was really surprised that I went in there, and my blood pressure was 127/80, heart rate is 63, so I was relaxed. It was a nice setting. That's the nice thing. It was a nice setting that relaxed you, because they took my blood pressure and my blood work towards the end. You went through and they did your first thing they did was the scan on the artery, and then another girl did one for a scan of your heart and everything to see how much plaque you had in your heart or around your heart. And then they did another one where they put these electrodes on your arms and on your legs and like little blood pressure cuffs around your ankles and your arms, and each one and took tests. So it was pretty cool. I'm kind of interested when them results get back. So I thought I'd share with everybody my results. I don't know if I should share Rosalie's results because she's not too happy with her results, or I'm concerned with one of them. Her cholesterol was a bit high, which was fine because she does eat more carbs and she eats bread and stuff. But but what concerned me was her glucose, fasting glucose, which is a sign of insulin resistance. And so we'll get to it. First of all, when you go in, you got to fast. And I fasted 20 hours. I was in on hour 20 because I told the girl I ate 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So it's been 20 hours since I have had anything to eat. So everything should be stable, baseline. You know, I was probably in a little autophagy and everything. So that was okay. Rosalie, she had a little snack about 7 o'clock that night, so she wasn't fasted quite so long. But still, she should have been on a pretty stable anything because she had what 12. I had 20, and she probably had about 16-hour fast. So that should have been everything. So I was a little concerned about that, and I told her too. I've been talking to her the last few days about that, and she is doing her style of a diet, but she is eating a lot more meat. She's cutting out a lot of the carbs that she ate just to see how it works. I'm happy that she's doing that because she thinks I'm more about the health than the way you look. If you're feeling good and you have no inflammation and no pain and everything, that's way better than what you look like. But she thinks that she's got to look great. But that's just a woman thing. So let's get into this. Like I said, we took the test on the 4th of March. My cholesterol panel, total cholesterol was 237, which I think is just perfect because I just watched Jim Caldwell on beating obesity, and he just had his blood work done too, which is kind of funny. I thought he talked about that earlier in that he was going to have his blood work done. Well, we had our blood work done, and he was his total cholesterol was quite a bit higher than mine, which is fine because everybody's a little different. He has a different diet than mine. He eats a lot of protein. He doesn't eat quite as much fat as I do. I eat a lot of fat, and so I was thinking my cholesterol should be shooting right through the roof, and it was only 237. My HDL cholesterol was 66, which according to Lifeline and the American Diabetes Association and the NCEPT, whatever that is, I don't know. I am protective against heart disease at 66, which is great. They said my total cholesterol was borderline high, but I don't believe that. I think that's protecting. And so that was all good. The LDL cholesterol, they said my LDL was 157, but they didn't distinguish between the small particles or the big fluffy particles. And see, when your liver makes LDL cholesterol, that's what's feeding your body. And the HDL is what takes out of the cells and brings it back the bad, or whatever they're doing to get recycled back into your liver. So, and I was probably in autophagy when this was taken. So of course my LDL cholesterol is going to be up because my body was in the repair mode. So that was fine. I understood that yeah, my LDL cholesterol might be a little high, but I didn't do a test where they distinguish between the little particles or the big fluffy particles. Big fluffy particles are great. The little particles are what's bad. And my triglycerides was at 70. So that means with all the fat that I've been eating and everything, it's not going in my bloodstream. Like I said, I was on a fast, and so they said my triglycerides were normal, which I think they were just perfect. Anything under 150, according to this outfit, is normal. Mine was 70, so that's and Rosalie's triglycerides were a bit high. She was up around 500, and that had me a little concerned, but not bad because she was in autophagy also. Probably she had fasted about 16 hours. So that was fine. Her body is a repair because she's still healing from her knee surgery. She probably still has a little inflammation. She had fasted for around 16 hours, and so her body was going into the repair mode. And so, of course, the what was it? Her triglycerides were pretty high at 500. Her LDL was low though. It was only 102, where mine was 157. And her HDL was really low at 44, where mine was at 66. So we're a little different. Her total cholesterol was lower than mine, but her triglycerides were high. And so I thought, well, that's because she was in autophagy. She's trying to heal. And so her body was doing that. So everything came out. I mean, my blood pressure was 127 over 80 with a heartbeat of 63 beats per minute. So that's just about right, normal. And they also took the glucose level, which my glucose level was at 82, which was just perfect, which it shows that I don't have insulin resistance because as I fasted, I didn't have elevated glucose or elevated insulin. So mine was right at 82. But it was Rosalie's fasting glucose was at 111, which I thought was pretty high for being 16 hours of fasting. That should have brought that, your glucose should have come back down to normal. They called mine normal, and they called Rosalie's pre-diabetic. So that's the one thing I'm worried about, is we got to get Rosalie's glucose numbers down. And what we're going to do is I think I'll go to Walmart and get one of the glucose testing meters and some strips, and see if she will start taking or testing that, just to see if we can get her diet where she can get that glucose level down to where it's down there around mine, 80, 90. But at 111, that's a little high for having not eaten anything for 16 hours. So that's the one thing I'm worried about on Rosalie. The other, I think she's just fine. So, but it was an eye opener. I really enjoyed it. They also had my what was it? The triglyceride to the HDL ratio, and they're always talking about this ratio. Well, it's supposed to be for men to be heart protective or low risk of heart disease, you got to be under 5. Well, mine was 3.6, which was way under the 5. And Rosalie's, you're supposed to be like, what was it, 4 point something or other, 4.4, and her HDL, triglyceride HDL ratio was 4.8, and she was supposed to be 4.4 to be, so she was just a smidgen above, but not bad. So that's still good for hers. And she went to her doctor and told her doctor that she was going to have this test, and he did a arterial scan on her and said she was just perfect. So we're kind of curious about what he said and I know what these people say, but they said that'll be about 2 weeks before we get some of them other results. So when they come in, we'll let you know. But everything seems to be good. I remember when I started this, people are going to say, "Oh my God, your cholesterol, you're going to have a heart attack. This is going to give you a heart attack eating all that fat and all that meat and everything." And it's just absolutely right in the normal range for triglycerides. HDL was protective against heart disease at 66. My LDL cholesterol, yeah, well, I was probably in autophagy, so the LDL, my liver was producing a lot of whatever it needs, and LDL is what carries it through the bloodstream. So I was a little high on that, but your liver regulates that really well. If I didn't need it, my liver wouldn't have been producing that. So maybe I had a little inflammation that day. But it's nice to have these. I don't know how accurate for my health they are, but it's a guideline that we have to take. And so let's see here. Now that I went through them, I had some okay, one thing I watched a video and I wanted to let this, if you're in weight loss, your numbers are going to be skewed because your body is burning fat, you're flushing out the bad stuff that's in your fat cells and everything, so your body's in a turmoil. So of course, if you go and have these tests done while you're in fat loss or weight loss, they're going to be way high because your body is regenerating. So that's one thing I saw in a video I was watching that was really cool. That if you got to tell your doctor, I'm in the process of losing a bunch of weight, so my numbers. So if they say that it's all, oh my God, your cholesterol's way up and everything, you got to go on statins. Well, once you get down and you quit losing weight, them numbers are going to automatically come back down to normal if everything else is okay. So I watched a video of that, and that really got me to think. I think it was William Davis, Dr. Davis, that was talking about that. And so you have to tell your doctor that. I haven't changed anything the way I'm eating. I'm still eating a really high fat diet. I'm not eating anything that is going to cause inflammation and stuff. Lots of meat, lots of animal fat. I'm not eating processed sugars, I'm not eating processed grains, and I'm not eating vegetable oil, seed oils. Them 3 things right there just is the key to the whole thing. You can eat anything else you want as long as they're not processed sugars, processed grains, or processed vegetable oil. For some reason, that just does it for me. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much processed food and everything is in, even condiments. It's all processed. I had to give up mayonnaise and ketchup and tartar sauce and stuff like that I like on my fish, because it was all processed garbage with fructose and all this junk in it. And it, I know it's hard to give up a lot of. I like a lot of condiments on my food. I like to spice it up. I like all that, but as long as it's just natural foods with, it doesn't seem to bother. But I'm getting off topic here. We've already went 20 minutes, and so I just want to throw this up, let you know everything's perfect for me. I'm a little concerned with Rosalie's glucose levels, so I think we will get her a tester if she'll agree to. I don't know if she's going to or not, but I would like to kind of monitor her glucose levels, because at 111 and you've fasted for 16 hours, that should have been way back. That should been down the 80s and 90s if you're not insulin resistant. So we're gonna monitor her if she'll let me. So with that, let's wrap this up, and I'll get it up. I just want to thank Jim, Beating Obesity. He comes out with the. I'm thinking we both think about about the same level. He just put up a video today about his blood work, and here I was planning on doing the same thing today, and so I'm going to comment on his video about I'm doing the same thing. So for now, we'll talk to you later.